Welcome to Tea Time with Dr. K, where we share stories that inspire transformation, celebrate victories, and dive deep into the journey of health and wellness. Grab your tea and let's build a better you, one conversation at a time. Thank you for joining us for another episode of Tea Time with Dr. K. We have a beautiful patient, Kerri. Thank you for joining us, Kerri.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. And I know this week was a spring break, and so she could really make it to us. And I'm so excited that she said yes, because I saw her this week earlier, and I said, Kerri, I need you to be my podcast. And she said yes. So I'm so thrilled for her to be here today. Now, Kerri, I want you to tell our audience, how did you first come to see us, to visit us? Why did you choose me to come and see? And then go through that detail, and we're going to share about the story a little bit later.
Okay. Well, it started that I had a bridge that broke, and I actually felt it and heard it, and I was in pain. I felt just a dying. So I closed my business, and I had to get and find someone, because the previous dentist, I just didn't have a good experience. So I found Millennium Dental, and I came.
Dunia Smiles. Smile. We could be dental too, yes.
I wasn't smiling when I came. I was so much pain, and she took care of me immediately, and to be out of pain was amazing. So yeah, I found a dentist that I felt could take care of me, take care of my teeth, and I was just relieved. And every solution that she gave me, it improved my smile, improved my feelings and everything.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I know, I remember the first day she came in, there was a lot that was going on, and she was very, very sweet, but in a lot of pain. And I had to be understanding of what she's experiencing, and at the same time, wanting to make sure that she understands what her options are overall as well. And we did take care of that pain. We comforted her.
But I love the way you explained the pain.
Yeah.
You explained why does it hurt? It's an implant. There's no nerve there. Why do I feel pain?
Because there's an infection there.
Infection.
Yeah.
Did I know infection? No, I did not. But you're so smart in telling me, and I just loved it here at day one.
Thank you. And I remember we talked about not only just right here, but the overall mouth. She had a little bit of imbalance in the bite, and how one imbalance in the bite can lead to other issues as well. We ended up talking about, I think in the second visit, about what more I can do for her. And what made you choose the options that I gave you, and why did you choose it that way? And because it was the best option for her, but I want you to tell us, why did you decide, after me explaining the options for you, that you chose to go the route of extracting the implants and extracting the teeth and placing implants on the lower arch, and then be able to do a removal option for the top? So can you go a little bit about what made you trust me, I would say? Because I think you mentioned the word trust earlier.
Yeah. Well, when I first came in, the facility and the technology, I felt like I was in space. I'd never seen scanning of the teeth and seeing it on the computer screen.
I know, isn't that cool?
It's like I came from a dentist that was in the 1800s to now. I'm like, she could do these things, and I could feel, but I only had a few teeth on bottom, and my teeth are very thin.
Yes.
Very thin. They've always been very thin, but I had no teeth here, so I'd lived like this. And so she offers me this option, and I'm like, I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm in. And
I showed you some like before and after too.
Before and after, and but not only the implants, but bone grafting. And remember on the you did blood. What?
Oh yeah, we did what's called a PRP, which is like we take patient's blood, centrifuge it, and extract the plasma from the blood, and use that as a healing process for the extraction and infected side. Because I not only took the previous infected implant out for her, but also clean the side with antibiotics, but use the PRP, which is from your own blood, for better healing, promote healing, prevent infection, stimulates bone growth, and prevent dry sockets, so that it actually can heal really well. Your own autogenous blood.
Had I ever heard this before from other dentists that I've had? No, and I trust. And this is just new technology. Maybe she knew about it, but explained it to me to help me heal. And, doing the bone graft and all this was, and the thing is, it was in that one appointment. I didn't have to come back and do and that's what my mother did. She come back and we're going to do bone graft, da-da-da. And you come back and we're going to do this, da-da. She did everything, and it's just amazing to see this and I had the attitude, I don't want to go to the dentist no more, and then I find her, and I got my husband to go here as well. Yes. Because he wasn't going to go to the dentist either.
And your husband's so sweet. He's so kind.
He's so sweet. He's got good teeth, unlike me. But you didn't work on him an implant, right?
Yeah, we did a sinus lift on him. We did an implant placement, and we did all over work for him too. Yeah,
we did love it.
Yeah,
and for cleanings or anything like that, I put total trust in her. I mean, I could go and just fix my teeth.
Fix my teeth. He's just sweet.
Yeah.
And I know they've been married for a long time, so we're gonna come back and circle back. What is the secret to a healthy lifelong marriage? Because I want to learn from you as well. But we're gonna go to the next thing. So I remember when he came in, we talked about the option for All-on-X. I remember the day of the surgery that you came in, and we had the room set up. By the way, when we do surgeries, especially big surgeries, my entire team is dedicated to taking care of you. The only patient that we schedule for, especially for All-on-X, full mouth rehab, big cases, we do not schedule anybody else except that patient.
And when I walked in and I see all this staff that she has there,
ready for you,
just me, I'm just like, whoa, I'm important today and then it is important. It's a big surgery. I had all of these done, which are just beautiful.
And smile for the camera. Look at that. Yeah, it's beautiful.
And I didn't have teeth. Can you imagine going from that to this?
Yeah.
But the surgery morning, I was nervous, but you were ready. The staff was ready, and they were all spot on.
Yes.
I mean, I remember it like yesterday, and it was just like y'all worked so good together.
Synchrony. Yeah. And then we extracted teeth, but did we give you teeth the same day, or did you leave without teeth?
No, you gave me teeth the same day. Most dentists that I've been to, you had to wear a denture, as you heal. I came in here, got them extracted, and bone graft everything, and walked out with beautiful teeth.
Yes.
I looked in the mirror and I was sharing with my family, look at my teeth.
Yeah.
Because I hadn't had them, and before, you had to wear denture thing.
Yes, denture thing. Yeah,
exactly. You could come back. So it was like a process. But here, I came here and it was one day.
Yeah. One day she got teeth the same day.
Same day.
And because, I work with an amazing lab, Dr. Tadros and his team. And he's a prosthodontist. He's in Atlanta, Georgia. And he works with, top-notch doctors. And I happen to be, he's mentioned to me before that you're my top one doctor, like on the top, because the procedures I do is complex. And the work he does with me, they both are very, very OCD. And we, sometimes we get into it, but it's for the best interest of the patient, And so when we plan a case, he plans a case and he revisits me and we talk about things. And, most dental offices, sometimes when they place implant, they place 4. And for us, it's not about 4 because, imagine a 4-legged table. If one leg, fails, the entire case fails. We try to place 4, 5, 6, 7 if we can on the lower arch, and we place 6 implants for
6 implants instead of 4.
Exactly. And we do not charge, the fee is the same, but I have never placed only 4. If we place 6 or 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 implants, I do not charge any extra. There's extra lab fee, there's extra implant, there's extra abutment, but I do not charge any extra because I want the long term. I want her to have this for the rest of her life.
But when I came in, I told you, okay, can you make me some dentures on bottom?
Yeah.
Oh, you remember what you did? You looked right at me and you said, I would not do that.
Exactly.
Well, I will not do that to you. And I go, okay.
Because,
but I didn't know what she was talking about until now. Well, how beautiful this is and how, what's it called, workable. The teeth are good.
Fixed. They're fixed dentition.
They're fixed and you can chew and you don't
Getting
have
to
the
a lot.
dentures,
Yeah.
the adjustments and all that. So,
Well, first of all, look at her. She's beautiful. She's fashionable. Imagine me giving her something, especially with the tongue that is on the lower arch, for it to be flopping around. She would affect her confidence, her day-to-day life. And not only that, when you wear dentures, it's kind of like a pair of shoes. If that thing is moving, eating a bone resorption, so her chin would actually be more like a class 3, would come forward, her facial structure feature would change, you would get more drooping of the lip. Believe it or not.
but I didn't know that.
Yeah. And believe it or
You knew that.
yes. And you know what? Remind me, Kevin, I'm going to put her before and after. Literally, the day of surgery, her bite was like this. And we opened up her bite. She actually got facial height, lifting up her corner of her cheeks and smile, and a little bit of a, like here. So,
And I felt the bite. I mean, it was uplifting, right?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
because her teeth before was like this. You can see her bottom teeth. Now it's smile for me. Look at that. You can totally see her bottom teeth. So imagine opening up her white, at least 5 to 7 millimeter opened up. That actually helped with the airway, with her breathing and oxygenation as well.
See, we don't know these things, but we get someone that is so special as
But
you,
passionate, really.
and passionate, and if you have any questions, concerns, she can answer them.
Yes.
Just like I came in the other day.
Yes.
Because of and it was a bite adjustment, simple bite adjustment. And she knows that.
Yeah.
She checks the implants; they're all good. So you have the confidence that she gonna take care of it.
Yeah.
I don't have to worry about things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And we do a checkup of the implants. We see the patient every 6 months because I want to make sure the bite is checked. It's not like, okay, you go done with implants, go home, and that's it. No, I still wanted to come in every 6 months. She does have some natural teeth that I want to make sure do the cleaning, but the implants needs to be checked. The bite occlusion, because as years go by, our bite can change a little bit, minor amount, especially when I set her in the right direction. Very, very minor changes, but at the same time, you want to be able to see those minor changes, and if necessary, you want to do smaller adjustments or polish so that it actually lasts a long time. Because one of the most important things in dentistry that some of my colleagues may miss, because I happen to treat those cases, is occlusion, patient's bite, and it's really critical for long-term success of the case. And just understanding that part is really important. But so do you remember what we did after the temporary placement? 3 months later, we gave you what's called a prototype, right?
Right.
And that means before we go to the final, I want you to see what the final looks like before we go there, correct?
Right.
And we made an improvement on that. How did that space on the bottom feel after I gave you the second temporary?
Well, I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh, this feels better. I mean, this feels good. It got better and better.
Yeah.
The first one I loved. I'm like, I love it. But I didn't have anything to look at.
Yeah.
And then I come up the second. It was 3 appointments to get the final one.
Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah.
And the second one felt good. And then you did the third. And you said, how does it feel? And I go, oh, it feels so good.
So good, yeah.
It feels like it's your own teeth because it fits to your mouth perfect. That is the way I feel like.
Yes.
Yeah.
Correct. And we want to make sure the size and the shape matches the face and, face and the color. Because, some patients, do request for wider teeth. But then I look at the patient's, facial complexion, color complexion, and I do my very best to match the rest of the teeth that's in her mouth so that it's in synchrony.
Right. You don't want white and then not as white.
Exactly.
And you asked me that, and you gave me the option,
Yeah.
and I said, well,
I wanted to make sure.
If I was doing the whole mouth, maybe.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
So that's something big to consider
As well.
And that, and you did that.
Yes.
Because you take pictures.
I take pictures, a lot of pictures.
A lot that you said, and turn, and I mean, she makes it so precise and perfect to match what you want.
Yeah.
And that's
really important.
I was feeling kind of like a movie star.
Yeah.
But you did a lot of pictures to compare, I guess, the colors.
The colors and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that is important, again, to us is that the patient experience, and throughout the entire time, I wanted to make sure that she felt heard, understood, and also the option that was presented to her, that she feels like she has the option to choose whatever option she wants. Mm-hmm. Although I will let you know it's if something that's you're not going to be happy with and you wish you had done it differently from the beginning. It's not like allow the patient to go down the path that I know they will potentially regret. And that is when she told me she wants a lower denture, and I said, I will not give you that.
I would not do that to you. It stayed with me. And I'm like, what? I didn't know.
Yes, you didn't
But
know.
I don't know. And
Education is so important. Education is power.
If she would have given me a denture, and I would complain. Okay, it's not doing this, it's not doing that.
And she would lose more bone by that time.
Bone loss. Exactly, yeah.
And that would be more detrimental to the success of the implants long term. So when patients come to the office, I do my very best to give the ideal option, and then less ideal option, and intermediate, and then like obviously one of the treatment is no treatment. You have the choice to not do anything as well. But knowing that you still have a long life to live, and you still want to live a good quality life and be happy, then you want something that's going to make you chew well, give you more confidence, but allow you to smile.
I love it, yeah.
And also have good quality food. Because if you do not have good teeth, it affects your health. And then from there, it starts deteriorating downhill.
Well, when you said that, I have family members that have the dentures.
Yes.
And that's a different story, I understand, but there are stories, of problems with those. They don't fit. They need this. They need that. My mom lost them. I'm like, I was taking care of her. I'm like, where did you put them? So they were under the bed.
But you don't want those things to happen to you.
No, you don't want those things. Had she done something like this, can you imagine?
Oh, you would have come back to me and you said, I wish I would have listened to you and I would have done the implant. That's why I take the time. I don't want the patient to make a rash decision and say, go home, think about it, come back, let's talk about it, because I want to make sure that they have the time to process what is it that they really want.
See, people may not know the complications and the problems and the issues with dentures until someone tells them,
Yeah. It's not like a quick fix. I'm not a quick fix shop. You know what I'm saying?
No.
It's like, let's get to the root cause. Let's address it one time and for all. It's an investment. But just like anything in life, if you make a good investment and by understanding the pros and cons, then you're also going to be happy with the results. How long has it been?
A year?
November? Yeah.
Almost a year, yeah.
Yeah.
And no problems at all. I have no problems with them at all.
That's great.
Yeah. It's like my teeth. It's like they're your teeth, Well, they kind of are, but,
Yeah, but she feels like they're naturally her teeth. Not
naturally my teeth, yeah. And because they fit, they wear, they chew, all of these things that I didn't have before, for sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
And may also tell the audience how you take care of the brushing part, like the water pick. How are you using that? What instruction did I give you on that?
Salt water.
Yes.
Salt water, warm water, and I brush, and then I do my water pick. I do it all around.
Good for you. Good for you.
Yeah.
So to make sure that, because the reason we say water pick, because, even though when you came to the office, I don't know if you remember this, when I was showing the x-ray that her teeth goes up and down, like the reason she had a bone loss, some of the teeth that she had bone loss, it was like lower bone level.
I remember that.
Versus the areas that the teeth were higher. So what we do is that we level the platform.
Right.
And the reason we level the platform is that so food doesn't get stuck in one area, it gets piled up and cause inflammation around the implant. So we level the bone out, the part that's higher, so that whenever you use the water pick, it shoots through the other side and cleans it out really nicely. And that's really the whole point. It's like knowing and understanding that you don't want to have a mountain like this. You want to have a nice, smooth platform so that water pick shoots through, it comes out through the other end.
And it does.
It does, doesn't it?
Because, you get some of those, down by and it gets under there, and you can't get it out with the water pick. You got to get in there with that pick floss.
And clean it out. And then you realize it's smooth. It's not like it's not a hole in there. It's like a smooth, flat surface.
And we would not know these things unless we have someone as, I don't know, expert as her. And that's what I truly feel is I can trust anything she sees that I need. I can trust that. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Because
you care.
She cares, and you're good at doing what you're doing. We don't know.
Funny, I had a patient here for a full mouth rehab consult. I'm going to tell you this. And, I was showing the cases to her on a PowerPoint on a TV, and she goes, you know, you're very young, and you look pretty and all that dressed up. And I was like, oh, I knew where she was going with that. So I said, you're assuming, and she goes, I just want to make sure these are your cases. And I said, interesting enough you say that. So, although I have a PowerPoint, but I also have the patient's real testimonials on the chair once I do the treatment, before and after a lot of the patients. And with you, I had it as well. Remember in my chair, but I did it. And I said, do you see this patient? And I went to my Instagram. If you go on under all on X, you see the patient's response, sometimes even right after surgery. So I had to show it to her. She was like, oh, you're serious about it. I was like, yeah, because these are my patients. I may, look young and dress up like this to come to the dental office. But what I want the patient to feel like is that you're my friend,
Mm-hmm.
your family,
Mm-hmm.
and I just know a little dentistry.
Mm-hmm.
I don't wear the white coat because I remember like in 2017, one of the patient came to the office. I hate the dentist and this and that. She was shaking, and I held her hand. And I said, if I can do one thing for you that would make a difference and make you feel more comfortable, what would it be? She said, I hate the white coat. And it's why, since 2017, I do not wear a white coat. I have 6 white coats.
That's why.
Yes.
But the white coat.
The white coat syndrome. You know what I'm saying?
Doesn't always mean, okay,
That you're smart.
that you're smart, because I've been there. And way it was before on my other implants is I went to, what is it, the endodontist or periodontist?
Periodontist.
And then I'd go to a dentist, and I'd go back and forth. So these two would kind of get in conflicts. I'm in the middle. You can't decide what y'all are supposed to do. And then one blamed the other that it failed. No, and you're going to have to redo it and pay for it all over again. I'm like,
So when you come to my office, you don't have that conflict because I love to take care of the patient from A to Z. I don't like to send a patient anywhere. The only procedure that I do not do is root canal. And I have my own, way of thinking about that. But everything else I do inside my practice because I don't know about to have this conflict going back and forth.
exactly. Yeah. And I shouldn't have been put in the middle like that. And then when I told one that this failed, and she said, well, then you need to call. So
it's everything is about me. I know how to educate the patient. I do the procedure. I do the restorative part. And of course, I give the patient post-op instruction. And as long as we're in synchrony, everything's going to go well.
Yeah. Yeah. And the staff is awesome too.
Oh, appreciate it.
They're my friends.
I know.
Everybody you get is very sweet.
Good team.
Yeah.
But the chief sets the tone for the day too, right?
Yeah. Well, when I first called the office,
Suzanne.
Yeah. And she and I talked, and I automatically she cares.
Yeah, she does.
She said you gave her a job, and she
was my patient too. Yeah, you're right.
Yes.
She was my patient.
And that's what caused me to come here, is because of the staff she has. Was very helpful when I'm in pain and I'm calling and
You know what? It's funny you said that. So she came to my office, Suzanne, and I remember she was very nervous, and we were in a consult room together. She said, just take them all out and give me dentures. And I put my hand on her leg, and I said, I will not do that to you. What we're going to do is fix you up.
And she said that you're going to help her get her teeth and all that. And I don't know what it was about her, but I'm like, I need to come in real bad. And
it's the comfort. It's like the way she makes you feel, right? People don't necessarily remember exactly what you said at the beginning or at the end or at the middle, but they will always remember how you made them feel.
Because I called other offices, and I just, okay, well, we have an appointment. It just didn't have that
touch.
Yeah. It's the touch.
We finish each other's sentences.
We don't even have to talk. We just like,
we know what we're talking about. We're in synchrony, the frequency.
You have patients like me. You see probably the same story of all these other places. You've been let down, and now you're in pain, and I don't want to even go to a dentist because of it.
Yeah.
But I'm so happy and comfortable here. I have no fear. I'm like, hello. You're right.
Hello.
Yeah.
So, Kerri, I know you and your husband have been married for how long?
44.
44 years.
40
beautiful, successful marriage. Of course, every marriage has its ups and downs. So I remember asking you this a few months ago, and you did mention a few things, and I said, "What is the secret to a lifelong marriage?" And I know you mentioned a few things to me. So if you don't mind, I would love for our audience to hear your words of wisdom and success throughout the years. Her husband, he's an amazing man, but just as she's amazing, he's amazing. There's still going to be some work together. So, Kerri, tell us, what's the wisdom behind all 44 years of marriage?
I think a lot, we're going to make mistakes. Not major mistakes, okay? No, don't go there. But understanding and forgiving and realize you've got your marriage on the line. Is it worth? So, anything that happens, you overcome it, you learn from it, and you grow from it. And you're going to have lessons in life. And I think this is what God does for us. And we build, we've just, and he's always there. Like, I have family troubles. He doesn't. We're so opposite. I'm from the country. He's from the city. He went to college. I didn't. But we cling to each other in life.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I impressed him by dressing face on TV to dinner, but
and you guys date. You guys date.
We go on dates, and you can't just like, I'm done with you, and go. Work it out, because there's love there, and you've got to nourish it and let it build. And
exactly,
when he wanted to go out with his college friends, and I'm at home with a newborn, he goes, "Well, I knew them longer than you did." And I go, "But you're married to me." So pull that back.
That's right.
Well, because you love them.
Yeah.
We all have personalities, and
boundaries.
I was 20 years old, pregnant. I mean, a lot of learning.
Exactly. And so she knew where to set the boundaries, and
he accepted them. Okay, if you have a man that wants to do their thing, they don't mean to be married.
Nope, that's right.
I mean, marriage is a commitment that you make, and we have 3 beautiful children.
Yes.
And they've never been in jail. I mean, we've really dedicated to it.
That's right.
Yeah.
And anything else that you would like to share? Have you read any books? Have you learned this way of life from your parents? Have your parents been having successful?
I think so. I think when we grow up, and I'm reading a book now about polygamy and how she's growing up, and the things that you go through. My mom married my dad, who I learned at 18 wasn't my dad. So you never know. And then that dad didn't, he didn't want that. But my dad was an alcoholic, and I didn't know it when I was little. But I learned then my husband will not be like that.
Yeah.
It's unacceptable.
Yeah.
You will never hit me. That's unacceptable. Yeah. So you learn these things. But when I got like 12 or 13, he was hitting her. And I went and I said, "You do not hit her, or I'll call the cops." "You better not." I called the cops.
Oh, shoot.
And he didn't hit her again. You know what I mean?
Did it again?
Never again. Because I called him out. You're a coward
to
hit her.
Yeah.
But you learn growing up, and I care for my mom when she had dementia. I'm the oldest of 6, so I'm a caregiver. Guess what? I'm in daycare now.
That's awesome.
But your life is not perfect.
No, it's not.
Yeah. But we make it what it is, and
you make it work.
Mm-hmm.
I'm proud of you. Mm-hmm. Any words of, I would say, wisdom about someone who may be looking for a dental office, and what would you say about our practice and myself and the team? And
I think if you come to this office versus another office, just the technology, the advancement, I couldn't believe it. I was in shock. I'm like, is that my mouth up there on the screen?
I know, it's a dimensional X-ray of yours.
I couldn't believe
skull, right?
So they're just doing these little X-rays. If you just visit here and talk to her and get an exam, then you can make your decision. But I'm just saying, I made mine, and I love my teeth, and I love the service, and I guess the intelligence, the education you have.
Yeah.
And you once told me that you don't stop.
No.
You continue learning in your field. You're always advancing.
Yes, you have to. I mean, one of my best instructor in dental school, he was in private practice for 28 years. He goes, if you're not learning something in dentistry every single day, you're definitely behind. So that really stuck with me. And this is 11 years later. Actually, this May will be 12 years. I'll be a dentist for 12 years, and I've done a lot. I'm very happy and accomplished about the things I have done and the things that I can do for the patient.
A lot of people that appreciate this, the work you do, like me, you know, because
I get bored easily.
I think that's my highest recommendation is remember the technology now and how advanced, and so you don't go through what I went through with that thing breaking and they didn't, you know, going to 2 dentists. I mean, that's too much. That's too much.
You know, one of the things that I'm actually looking into right now, I'm going to say this. There's, and at some point, I'm looking into bringing stem cells to the practice where you can actually implant it and have natural teeth grow back.
Really?
Yes. So I'm excited. I wanted the next thing. What is the next thing? I want to be on top of that. And so, and they actually have something overseas, and I don't know, Japan or somewhere else, that they talked about. There's a protein that they actually block inside the body, like, you know, it's an injection that allows the teeth to grow back. Now, because of the FDA and stuff, things may have to get approved in the US before we can bring something like that. But the moment something like that gets approved in here,
but you're aware of
I am going to be on top of it.
So and I heard this, and I may be wrong, but I heard that dental or tooth decay, they're now linking to Alzheimer's.
Yes.
Then my son told me yesterday that they found a cure with rosemary to cure Alzheimer's. So there's always technology, like you said, and you got to keep up with it. And one day we'll just have to snap our finger and there's your teeth. I mean, it's that easy, right?
Yeah. So thank you so much, Kerri.
Thank you.
You look beautiful. I love how your outfit is, country girl.
Yep.
And full of life and vibrant. And I appreciate you so much for taking the time to come on my podcast to share your experience about all the next dental procedures, going from temporary to prototype to final, and also the top teeth. And again, appreciate you.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. Yes. And thank you for referring your husband to us as well.
Yeah.
And we take care of them too. So stay tuned for another episode of Tea Time with Dr. K. And we appreciate you, Kerri.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.